Hey everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I have some huge breaking news that's going to shock you. It's something that's been on the minds of millions, and the IRS just dropped a bombshell announcement that has everyone buzzing. Yes, you read that title right. The IRS has just revealed that they will be releasing a $2,000 stimulus check. But here's the catch, it's exclusively for senior adults who are receiving SSI, SSDI, and VA benefits. Now, I know what you're thinking, what does this mean for me? How do I get this check? Well, stick around because in this video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know. We'll discuss who's eligible, how to receive the payment, and most importantly, why this is such a game changer for so many senior citizens out there. This news comes at a critical time when many Americans are facing financial struggles due to rising costs, inflation, and unexpected challenges. For years, the government has been sending out stimulus checks to help people stay afloat, but this time, there's a twist. This check is specifically targeted at a group of people who are often the most vulnerable during financial hardships, senior adults who rely on government programs like SSI, SSDI, and VA benefits. These individuals are often on fixed incomes and may not have the flexibility to adjust to rising living costs or unexpected expenses. So, when this $2,000 check was announced, it sent shockwaves through the community and for good reason. This is big news and it could have a real impact on the lives of millions of seniors across the country. Let's take a closer look at what this means and why the IRS has made this decision. The government has recognized that many senior citizens are struggling financially, especially those who rely on Social Security income, SSI, Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, and Veterans Affairs, VA, benefits. These groups are particularly vulnerable to rising inflation, which has been soaring in recent years. From skyrocketing grocery prices to increasing gas costs, it's no secret that many seniors have had a tough time keeping up with their expenses. To make matters worse, healthcare costs continue to climb, and seniors often face out-of-pocket expenses for medications and doctor visits that aren't fully covered by Medicare. It's clear that something needed to be done to provide relief to this population, and that's where this $2,000 stimulus check comes in. Now, you might be wondering, why a $2,000 payment and why now? Well, the IRS aims to provide a financial cushion for those who need it the most. For many senior citizens, a fixed income doesn't leave much room to absorb the financial shocks that come with rising inflation or unexpected medical expenses. This $2,000 check is essentially a one-time payment to help ease the burden and give seniors a bit more breathing room in their budgets. It's a way for the government to acknowledge that they need to do more for seniors who have been hit the hardest by the economic challenges of the past few years. And let me tell you, for those who are eligible, this check could be a lifeline, providing much-needed relief in a time of financial uncertainty. So, who exactly is eligible for this $2,000 stimulus check? Here's the important part, this check is specifically for senior adults who are receiving SSI, SSDI, or VA benefits. If you're one of these individuals, you are automatically considered eligible. But there are a few criteria you need to meet. First, you must be receiving benefits from one of these three government programs. If you're receiving Social Security income, SSI, Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, or you're a veteran receiving VA benefits, you're in. The IRS has stated that this payment will primarily be directed to seniors who are 65 years of age or older. The reason for this age requirement is that seniors are typically the ones most affected by the financial pressures of inflation, high medical bills, and fixed incomes. The IRS wants to ensure that this financial assistance reaches those who need it most. Now, if you meet these eligibility requirements, you're probably wondering, how do you actually get this $2,000 check? Well, the good news is that the process is pretty straightforward, especially if you're already enrolled in one of the qualifying programs. The IRS will be using the information they already have on file to send out these payments automatically. That means you don't have to do anything extra to apply for the check. The IRS will process it based on your existing benefits information. If you receive your benefits through direct deposit, there's a good chance that the $2,000 stimulus check will be sent directly to your bank account. If you typically receive your benefits via paper check, the IRS will send you the payment by mail. Either way, the check should arrive soon, so it's important to make sure your contact and banking details are up to date with the Social Security Administration or the VA to avoid any delays. One of the best things about this payment is that it's a direct payment, meaning no complicated forms, no waiting in long lines, and no additional applications required. If you're already receiving benefits, you're automatically in line to receive this stimulus check. However, it's still a good idea to double-check your information with the Social Security Administration or the VA to ensure everything is current. If you've moved recently or changed bank accounts, you'll want to make sure they have your updated details so you don't miss out on the payment. You can easily do this by visiting the SSA or VA website or by contacting their customer service lines for assistance. Now, some of you might be wondering about the timeline for when this check will actually hit your account. While the IRS hasn't provided an exact date for when the payments will be issued, they've stated that payments will start rolling out soon, with most payments expected to be completed by a specific date. If you've already been receiving your benefits through direct deposit, you may see the $2,000 payments show up in your bank account fairly quickly. If you're waiting for a paper check, it could take a little longer, so be patient. The government has made it clear that they are working as fast as possible to get these payments out, but depending on your situation, it might take some time for everything to process. So, what can you use this $2,000 for once it arrives? Well, this check is intended to help seniors cover some of the increased costs they may be facing, whether it's medical expenses, paying down bills, or just helping to cover the rising costs of groceries and gas. This $2,000 can be a game changer for those who are struggling to make ends meet. Many seniors live on fixed incomes, meaning they have little room to adjust their budgets when unexpected expenses arise. This stimulus check provides a much-needed buffer, giving seniors the ability to take care of some of those expenses without worrying about how they'll pay for them. Whether you decide to put the money toward healthcare costs, household bills, or just use it to catch up on some savings, this check is an opportunity to get ahead financially for once. But as always, it's important to stay vigilant and make sure you're not falling for any scams. Unfortunately, whenever the government announces a new program or financial benefit, scammers often come out of the woodwork trying to steal personal information from unsuspecting people. The IRS will never call or email you asking for your personal information to process this stimulus check. If you receive any communication that seems suspicious or too good to be true, don't respond, and be sure to report it. Always verify the legitimacy of any request through official government websites to avoid being scammed. To wrap things up, this $2,000 stimulus check for senior adults on SSDI and VA benefits is a major step in the right direction for those who are most vulnerable during these tough economic times. It's a relief for millions of seniors who are facing financial pressures from rising living costs and healthcare expenses. If you're eligible, be sure to keep an eye on your bank account or mailbox for the payment, and make sure your contact information is up to date with the government to avoid any delays. And as always, be careful of scams and ensure any communication you receive is from a legitimate source.